Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. Our today's topic is related to this man. Everything is happening in today's world is actually happening because of this man. We all know that Russia started their special military operation against Ukraine on February 24 because of this man's controversial foreign and the domestic policy. The Western media houses are portraying this man as hero, but this man has his own dark sides. Anyway, we have our own motive in discussing this man in our today's topic. Because the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in his Arab League summit meetings had said that the Russian goal is to topple the present Ukrainian government. So that means Russia wants to remove Vladimir Zelensky from his office and they wants to install a government which will be friendly towards Russia and the Russian people. Also in this topic we will going to discuss the dark side of Vladimir Zelensky, what he said, what he did and why the Russia is so angry about Zelensky. Since the inception of the war, the Russia have been trying to dislodge Zelensky from his throne. The Russia denied it previously, but now Russian officials are expressing the same desire to dethrone the king. And the Lavrov has justified this comment by saying something usual. According to Lavrov, the Moscow is determined to help Ukrainians to liberate themselves from the burden of this absolute unacceptable regime. He also accused Kiev and his Western allies of sprouting propaganda intention to ensure that Ukraine became the eternal enemy of Russia. And somehow he is partially right, because since the beginning of the war, the Zelensky have been lecturing the world about democracy, literacy, liberty, sovereignty from the Western parliament houses. The Western allies of Ukraine are also helping them unconditionally. The Western media houses are creating cover fire for Zelensky. The Western houses is supplying the different kinds of weapons to Ukraine. They are also funneling billions of dollars to keep the Zelensky's image alive. Yet the West means especially the United States and United Kingdom pushing Zelensky to go out of turn in keep pushing the Western propaganda war against Russia and this President Vladimir Putin. The United States has already assured Ukraine almost $2.2 billion of weapons. US actually promised Ukraine $40 billion of weapons, which is huge. That includes the anti-aircraft system, tactical drones, rocket system, M777 howitzer and artillery guns. US has already provided M142 high mobility artillery rocket system with a range of 50 miles. The missile system popularly known as HIMARS, HIMARS, and the US has sent 12 of them. And the US is also sending different kinds of high precision guided missile system to Ukraine. But Ukraine is losing this war very fast. Not only Ukraine, the West, especially the USA, is losing this game very fast. Because USA actually thought they could replicate their 1970s Afghanistan war tactic against Russia, in which they used Pakistan as proxy to defeat the Russia in Afghanistan. But things has gone very wrong for the West, especially the USA, because Russia is using energy as the new weapon of war. The Europe need the Russian gas to keep their environmental agenda alive. That is why, after the cutting of the Russian gases, the Europe is slowly but steadily moving towards coal. The Europe import 40% of Russian gas. The Europe need the Russian gas to keep themselves alive from excruciating Northern Pole winter. They also need Russian gas to keep their economy alive, to keep their energy demand alive. And the Putin has created differences among European allies. So the conclusion is Zelensky is losing his image pretty fast, which West created by using democracy, sovereignty, liberty as their shield. So now we need to know who really is Zelensky. Is he a good man or a man with fake image? Because he is an actor and a comedian. He knows how to build his image. And he is also getting huge help of Western media influence. But I would like to tell you the dark side of this man. Because his character is not as white as the media is showing to you. Media means the Western media. The Zelensky became president of Ukraine in 2019. He became president because he promised Ukrainian people that he will make the Ukraine corruption free and the oligarchs free. And he also promised that he will end the war in Luhansk and Donetsk region. But nothing has happened. He failed to fulfill his political promise to his people because he was so adamant of joining NATO and the European Union. Zelensky is not a democratic and a liberal leader. He also have authoritarian trait like Putin. And he is also very corrupt. According to some sources, his net property worth around $15 million. He also owns 15-room villa in Italy's Tuscany, the asset he never declared in his presidential campaign. The Zelensky also have offshore holding in companies situated in British Virgin Islands, Cyprus and Belize. His political party's name is Servant of People, The Servant of People is the TV show where he acted as president, but in reality he is not properly serving his people. He is trying to make his image like Margaret Thatcher, Winston Churchill, or the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. But in reality, his nature is similar to Stalin or Mussolini. As I said, Zelensky is not a democratic leader and he is very corrupt. Because I would like to justify my say by give you some examples. When he came to power, he banned 3 national news channels only because they did not support him during his election campaign. After that, he fired then General Prosecutor of Ukraine because he was appointed by the previous president. He did not stop there. He then fired the governor and the deputy governor of National Bank of Ukraine only because they were not loyal enough to Zelensky. The only sin of deputy governor of National Bank was she wanted to declare independence of the banks from the government clutches because the government officials were doing corruption through several banks of Ukraine. So, if he is truly democratic, then why he banned 3 national news channels and fired these honest men and the women? You will never know, because the Zelensky is the blue-eyed boy on the eyes of the West and the Western media houses. The Zelensky is now losing his grip over his own government. I am saying this because he has ordered treason probe against 650 Ukrainians, because he is suspecting that these peoples are helping and aiding the Russia now. He is also suspended now the Prosecutor General Iriana Venediktova and his own security chief, his own business partner and his own childhood friend Ivan Bakanov. So it is enough to prove that the government is crumbling, the Zelensky is crumbling, his image is falling. During the election campaign, the Zelensky promised his people to end the oligarchy. But I have enough proof to prove his link with Ukrainian billionaire oligarch Ihor Kolomonovsky. The Zelensky used Kolomonovsky's personal bodyguard as his own personal bodyguard to run his second leg of presidential campaign. This man has also allegedly stolen $5.5 billion from Ukraine's biggest bank, which is Privat Bank. The Ihor Kolomonovsky used that money to invest in the heartland of the USA. The oligarch was the main investors of Zelensky's campaign. The Zelensky also appeared on a TV show appearance which was owned by the Ihor Kolomonovsky. But their honeymoon come to an abrupt end when FBI issue a red corner notice against him because of rampant corruption through the money laundering that forced Zelensky to revoke his Ukrainian citizenship. So what is our conclusion from our today's discussion? According to me, we should not blindly believe on the Western media houses because they are biased and they are influenced by the leftist communist propaganda. One day they will eat the United States heart away. Now our today's questions. The first question is, what is the name of the Russian company who is responsible for gas and the oil export in Europe? The first option is Rosneft, second option is Novatek, third option is Gazprom, fourth option is Lukoil. The second question is, who is the richest man in Russia? The first option is Alexei Mordashov, second option is Vladimir Putin, the third option is Leonid Mikhelson, the fourth option is Andrei Melnychenko. So this is the end of the topic. If you have any questions regarding this topic or any other inquiry about anything, you can mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. So I hope you will going to find this topic informative. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.